salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today's going to be a reading vlog where I read a book that I have been highly anticipating. I'm so excited right now. I'm so excited.
No way, that is the scene, like, out of all the scenes that's gonna make me cry right now. How important it is to see yourself represented in a book when you've never had that before. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna start crying again.
I am so down bad for Lex, okay? I'm down bad for her. Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited about today's reading vlog. I can't even, okay? In this video, I'm going to be reading Serpentine, Valentine by Giana. I know it's really early to say that this was my most anticipated read of the year, but it really was. When I found out that this was going to be a Sapphic Dark Academia Medusa retelling, my heart went pitter-patter. It's literally all that I want and desire. I adore Sapphic romances. I love any like Greek mythology retelling. I'm so happy I was able to get my hands on an arc. I was fiending for this book, okay? Anything Sapphic I want in my life. So this comes out February 8th, the day that I'm posting this video, and we're just gonna have a casual reading vlog where I take you guys with me as I read one of my highly anticipated books of the year. And I've already told you the main plots: Dark Academia, Sapphic, Medusa retelling. This also has a revenge plot. So our heroine Lex goes to a very prestigious university. She is a scholar. She's absolutely brilliant. Everything kind of takes a dark turn when one night she is taken advantage of and assaulted by a man that she thought that she could trust. Make sure to check out the trigger warnings for this book because it is a darker contemporary read and also has a revenge plot. Take care, read the author's note, read some Goodreads reviews to make sure that the trigger warnings aren't triggering for you. School is covering up what happened to her, and she decides that she's going to get a little bit of revenge. She wants revenge on the man that hurt her and then revenge on the woman that protected him instead of believing her. So that's where our story kind of starts off on. She is in her revenge era, if you will, and a part of that is seducing the president of the university's daughter. That's where the Sapphic romance comes in. Obviously, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but all of that is in the synopsis and in the first few chapters. Everyone that I talk to absolutely adores Giana Darling's writing style. This will be the first book that I've read from her. I haven't read her Fallen Men series quite yet. Some MC romances were really popular. I wasn't reading romance at the time, so I have a little bit of catching up to do. This one really is catching my attention right now because it's Sapphic. Speaking of Sapphic romances, that's why I wore this shirt today. Let me show you. I absolutely love this shirt. Please tell me this shirt is not perfect. Love this gothic, like, historical pose. It felt fitting. I'll have to do a better video of this shirt because it's truly one of my favorite shirts ever and it's perfect for this video. But anyways, I'm so excited to read Giana Darling for the first time. Reading vlog kind of starts off chaotic. I'm filming the intro now because I literally turned on the camera as soon as the arc hit my email. So it starts off a little bit chaotic, but let's do it. Do I have lipstick on my teeth? Oh, I sure do. Hot. So many of my friends absolutely love her, so I'm definitely reading this off of the recommendation of Jessica from Peaceful Books, Tori from Novel Life, of course Lacey from Lacey Book Lovers because she is a Giana Darling stan. I'm so excited right now. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. I'm so excited. Okay. Guys, I was laying in my bed. It is currently 10 o'clock at night. I work tomorrow. I put on some comfy clothes. I was laying down, about to go to sleep, okay? Phone was on the charger, my e-reader was on the charger. I was about to go to bed. All of a sudden, dink, notification. Glance at it real quick. What is it, you ask? It's my arc. It is my arc. So I managed to snag an arc of Serpentine Valentine by Giana Darling. I need to read it right now. There is absolutely no way I'm going to bed. I'm so freaking happy. I'm not going to bed. I really want to finish this book tonight. That's a little crazy because I do work in the morning. I do. I'm like trying to think if there's any way I could not work tomorrow. You guys know that I'm loving all the Sapphic romance releases in 2024. It just makes my bi little heart so fucking happy. Downstairs, I'm gonna get a nice little treat, a little snack, put on a candle, comfy cozy blanket, and we're gonna read this damn book. These cute little straws, I don't know if you can see them, but they're little hearts. Really late right now and I was literally crying my eyes out. Obviously I was like emotional in like the beginning of the book because there's a lot of trigger warnings and trauma that happens, but I
started crying at like a scene I didn't even expect. I don't want to do any spoilers, and this is not a spoiler, but there's like a scene where one of our characters comes out. It was so beautiful. It was so well written, and I was sitting there thinking like I don't think I've ever read a romance book with someone like coming out like that. I've read plenty of sapphic romances and male romances and things like that, but most of the time it's like already established. Their sexuality is already established. I don't know why that is the scene, like out of all the scenes that's gonna make me cry right now, to see like this character come out and like come into their sexuality was so beautiful. And I think that's why I'm leaning more into sapphic romances recently, because like that representation, like you can't beat that. You literally can't beat that. I don't think people realize like how important it is to see yourself represented in a book when you've never had that before. Oh fuck, I'm gonna start crying again. I didn't think that I was gonna cry. Well, I knew it was an emotional book. I knew that our character had been through a lot, but like I started crying in a part that was probably not meant for you to cry. Again, this isn't the first sapphic book that I've read. I've read others where I felt really represented. Adriana Herrera is an author that I kind of get this feeling from whenever I read her books as well. So that one hit me in my feels, guys. It hit me in my feels. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning and I have to go to work tomorrow. Fuck, this book is so good.
Right, it is the next day. I'm getting ready for work. Thankfully, I'm working from home. I think I sobbed pretty much the whole first 60% of this book for many reasons. I have a lot of things to talk about. This book is so layered and beautifully written. I think this is going to be just a reading vlog of this book. Typically I like to add 1 or 2 books, but this one I really want to expand my thoughts on and be able to express how much I'm really loving and appreciating it, because there's so many aspects to it that I adore. The sapphic representation, the writing style is so lyrical. I love the dark academia vibe. So we're just gonna like fully dive into this book. What I was expressing last night was the representation of sapphic love in such a beautifully and well crafted way. This book embodies female rage as well as the queer experience for a lot of people. You can just tell like so much thought and care went into the writing of this book, and it makes me so emotional, and I feel like this book is so precious. I've always been someone, since I've created my channel, I've always been someone who loves sapphic romances and reads them and just really enjoys them, and I have so many favorites. However, in the past few years, it's been really discouraging for me personally, because whenever I would create, and this isn't a numbers thing because I literally could care less about numbers. However, factually, any sapphic romance video I ever did would get the lowest amount of views and the worst type of comments. I would have people just point blank say that sapphic romances were not relatable, they were not sexy, they were not romantic, or simply say they don't like sapphic romances, they don't read sapphic romances. And that just like hurt my soul so many times. Without fail, whenever I would talk about sapphic romances, whether on YouTube or TikTok, I would have to filter through those negative comments. Honestly, I was just deleting them for my mental health and well-being. So if you go back and like filter through the comments, you're not going to see them because they're deleted. For me, that was just so discouraging that people would openly say that sapphic love isn't romantic or isn't relatable. Like, by what metric are we judging that for someone to feel comfortable to make such a comment? To even expand my thoughts on not just this book, Serpentine, Valentine, but the fact that so many sapphic romance releases are coming out in 2024. There are dozens that people are genuinely excited for and are getting such amazing marketing. And I cannot tell you how happy that makes me. These books are for everyone. Sapphic romances are for everyone, hold value, and they have a place in the market of romance books. However, if you are part of the queer community, you would know like how special it is to see yourself represented in books, because I feel like for so long we didn't have that, and when we were talking about books that had that, they weren't getting the attention they deserved. Another thing that's so crazy when it comes to sapphic romances in particular, with people saying it's not romantic or sexy, makes me want to vomit. Straight women who read male romances don't have that same sentiment. It is insane that even in a community filled with women, sapphic women are still being held to an impossible standard. Like an impossible standard. And I feel like that's mentioned in this book so much, the impossible standards that women are put in every scenario. And I feel like you can really relate to that. The main heroine has been overly sexualized by men. She's absolutely brilliant, but her brilliance is overshadowed by her sexuality to society standards. And it's oh my god, it's so good. I can't even tell you. I was just like sobbing for the first 60%. I was prepared for the dark revenge plot, and I knew that our heroine was assaulted in the beginning of the book, so I was kind of like prepared for that. But what really is like just blowing my mind and making this like already a favorite read, like it's 60% in, and I cannot imagine this, unless something absolutely crazy happens, I cannot imagine this not getting a 5 stars, because of like the Sapphic love is just so, it's so beautiful. And I think it has so much to do with her writing style. It's so lyrical and thoughtful and intentional. Like I said, I feel like this book embodies the definition of female rage, but also the queer experience. So many people would be able to relate to it in different like pieces of this book. But for me personally, I can't even describe, I don't even know if the author fully understands like how much it means to see that representation. I don't know why I'm crying so much. Oh my god. Just so everyone is clear, everyone is aware, I'm a crybaby. Like, I cry often. I'm a Cancer, so I'm just a big old crybaby. Literally the whole 60% of this book, I was just like, so beautiful. I love it so much. These poor characters are going through it. My babies. I love them. Oh my god. I feel so much about our main character, Lex. Her story is heartbreaking, but also empowering. And also real and raw. Like, I cannot wait to be done with work right now so I can finish this book. Different angle. I promise I'll put on makeup sometime in this video so I look a little bit more put together. But I was thinking of something. Writing style, you're gonna love. Like, oh my gosh, this dark academia vibes is vibing. I love all of the references to so many different parts of literature. You have classic literature, Greek mythology. You also have like some pop culture references thrown in there. And I would be fascinated, like literally so fascinated to know like what her writing process was, Giana Darling's writing process. And although it is a contemporary book, it feels, maybe that's the dark academia part to it, but it feels so whimsical and fantastical. Like I'm reading like an epic tragedy. The book is tragic and romantic and also a little gory and raw and dark. So yeah, I love it. I was reading this on my Kindle Scribe because I was annotating pretty much every single chapter. I had like different annotations. I was expected to see those references since this is a Medusa retelling, but there's also references to classic literature, pop culture in a way that doesn't feel pretentious. Like it flows with the story so freaking well. Gosh, this book is so well crafted. Like I can't even tell you guys. Like, God, Giana Darling has to be a genius because it's so well written. I feel like this book literally has something for everyone. If you like romance, you're gonna adore it. If you like revenge plots, you're gonna adore it. If you like really focusing on a author's writing style and prose and all of that stuff, you would enjoy it. Like, it has something for everyone. Just putting on a little bit of makeup. I've been a little hood rat this whole video, little feral gremlin. It was, okay, no, you know what? Let me not speak that into myself. I was sitting here thinking, oh man, this book has me thinking about everything at this point. Sitting here thinking like, do I refilm the book updates that I did last night? Because I looked a mess. I did. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll refilm them with like some makeup on. And then I stopped myself and I was like, what? Again, the mentality that women have to perform, everything being so centered around appearance. When I filmed those updates, I was healthy and I was happy. I was so like deliriously happy enjoying a book. It was the type of serotonin that makes me love being a reader so much. So I was like, why do I need to refilm that? Oh, my mirror fell. Adding my little beauty marks because that's my favorite part. But I am beautiful with or without makeup. So I think when you post online, you're kind of aware of the fact that you may be perceived in a way that you don't perceive yourself. I'm on powder right now, so I might look a little crazy. However, I am beautiful and educated and kind without makeup. Like none of those attributes are being taken away when I don't have eyeliner on. So yeah, it's not that deep. It's not that deep, but it is that deep. And I don't know, this book is just, oh my god. It's one of those books, man. It's one of those books that's just like, this is why I love being a reader. Truly, this is why I love being a reader. I am so down bad for Lex, okay? I'm down bad for her. The sexiness, the confidence, the female rage that she is exuding. Hot girl energy. She really is. I love her. So if you guys know anything about me, I have a lot of book tattoos, okay? I have like 6 or 7 tattoos of my favorite books. or in reference to my favorite books rather. The entire time that I'm reading this book, in my mind, in my little brain, I'm like, I would look really hot with a snake tattoo. I would look so cute with a snake tattoo. And to be fair, to be honest, I have been wanting one for a while, like on the back of my ear. And in this book, our heroine Lex has snake tattoos that are just described, ooh, so beautifully. And yeah, I want that. I want that. I was originally going to get one for the Sophie Lark series, but then I already have some Sophie Lark tattoos, so I was like, that seems excessive. But then I could get one for this. Do I need another tattoo? Probably not. Do I want one? Yeah, real bad. I actually have these temporary tattoos that I would use for like Halloween and stuff. If you guys didn't know, my dream, like when I was younger, I wanted so badly to be a professional makeup artist, specifically doing special effects makeup on like movie sets. I would always do my friends' makeup for Halloween. Back in the day, in my younger years, I used to do like makeup on Instagram and stuff like that. That ship has long since sailed, but every once in a while I do like to do a nice Halloween look. So I had these, and look, a snake. Yeah, a snake. So when the physical copy comes in, I want to take a picture, do my makeup. Oh, this one's stunning. And have like a little snake temporary tattoo just to try it out, just to see. Tell me I don't need one. Well, actually, tell me I need one. Okay, gas me up. Tell me I need one. I did a Halloween look. Oh, for the Sophie Lark series. I did a Halloween look for that one, and it looked real sexy, real cute. So we're gonna play around with this when the physical copy comes in. I don't know. I think I'm going to be done with this reading vlog by the time that happens. But follow me on Instagram at bookswithsamantha. Shameless plug. Okay, what I really came on here to talk to you guys about was I absolutely love authors do playlists for their books, like songs that like coincide with each chapter or the book as a whole. When you first open the book, you can see like all of the songs. You can also find the playlist on Spotify. So kind of like in between chapters, I've been listening to each song. Chef's kiss, magical. What a lovely experience that is. So many of the songs go so well with the book, and again, everything is so thoughtful, so intentional, really enhancing that experience. So yeah, if you read it, I would recommend checking out the playlist because honestly, she has phenomenal taste in music. So there's that. Dark academia and Greek mythology. Because of those vibes, I really want to read some Greek mythology. I want that same vibe, but I don't really want to read a classic, to be frank, to be honest. So I have these anthologies. I've had these for a while. Both of these are anthologies on Greek mythology and fairy tales. I've had them in my collection for a really long time. They're edited by Kate Bernheimer, but there are a ton of authors like Neil Gaiman, Shelley Jackson. I don't know if we're going to read these in the video, but just so you guys know what I'm going to be picking up. The first one is My Mother, She Killed Me, My Father, He Ate Me. Looks like that. And then the next one is XO Orpheus. So we're going to read those. And then the next one is His Hideous Heart, edited by Dahlia Adler. This is an anthology of Edgar Allan Poe poems. So a bunch of short stories inspired by his poems. Again, dark academia vibes. This is the vibe that I'm feeling. I'm sitting on the floor again by my bookshelves. I just filmed the intro. I thought it would be also fun to talk about some of my favorite sapphic romances. If you guys love sapphic romances, here are some recommendations. If this is your first sapphic romance, here are some recommendations. I will say that this book feels incredibly unique. Like I can't off the top of my head think of anything that would compare to the beauty of this book. But I do have a lot of sapphic recs that I love. There's a new release actually that is sapphic and dark academia. So similar vibes. It comes out this month. It's by S.T. Gibson, a continuation of A Dowry of Blood, which was one of my favorite books ever last year. So this one is a sapphic dark academia romance with vampires. The vibes are vibing. I thought that was pretty cool that we're getting 2 sapphic dark academia romances within the same month. Moving on, some sapphic romances I would recommend. One of my favorite sapphic romance authors is Anna Stone. She writes quite a few romances on Kindle Unlimited. One of my favorites is Being Hers. One of our heroines works at a bar, and one night as she's working, she notices a woman across the room, and their chemistry is electric. The second they lock eyes, intense chemistry. Turns out that is her boss. It does have an age gap and it follows the romance. Most of Anna Stone's books also have some type of BDSM element to it. However, I feel like it is done so freaking well. Like she describes the lifestyle and the dynamics in such an interesting way. So our heroines in this book do dabble in BDSM. There's a lot of power dynamics. It's hot, like scorching I love this one. Another one that I like by Anna Stone is Forever Theirs, and that's actually a poly romance between 3 women, and that one is also hot girl energy. One Sapphic romance that I always recommend is Being Hospitable by Mika James. This one is a brother's best friend trope and also has an age gap. Our heroine Charlie has always had a crush on her older brother's best friend Kiki, but she is struggling to get out of the friend zone. End up becoming roommates. Kiki offers for Charlie to live with her because she has an internship like right by her house, so they end up living together, and Charlie decides to shoot her shot. This one also does have light BDSM elements, but it's very light. I feel like if you're not into BDSM, you would still like this book. And this one is a shorter novella, so a very quick read, and I love it. Next recommendation that I have kind of like dabbles in an open relationship type of dynamic. So this one is called Neighborly by Katrina Jackson. Those 2 couples, 2 married couples. The younger couple is deciding to take their relationship to the next level and move in together. It is a sublet connected to their landlord's house, and the landlord is a couple that has an open relationship. Although there are 2 couples in this book, it really focuses on the chemistry and sexual dynamic between the 2 women in the relationship. As soon as the 2 women meet, they are immediately entranced by each other, and their partners are living for it. Their partners want them to have a good old time and give them the ability to explore that chemistry and that connection. It's fun because you get some sapphic love, but also kind of exploring the dynamics of an open relationship. Love this one. A lot of these are novellas because I love a good novella. Another one is Party Favors by Erin McLennan. I've recommended this like 10 times over. It's a short novella set around New Year's, and it is a friends lovers romance. Our heroines meet online and they become instant best friend over their shared love of fashion and media. They spend years texting and really developing their friendship, and they decide that they're going to meet in person on New Year's. Both of them have kind of like a bucket list, a list of things they want to do. So they decide that they're going to do that list together. But what they don't expect is that when they meet each other in person, they are so attracted to one another. Okay, friends, lovers, romance, sexy, love it. If you're looking for a historical romance, A Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics, that's a good one. Perks of Loving a Wallflower, that's a good one. Those are my recommendations. I know I was talking really fast. I don't want this video to be too long, but I did want to just shout out some of my favorite sapphic reads since that's the theme of this whole video. Alright, it is time to wrap up this video. I read about 60% in one sitting, and then I finished the rest today. When I tell you, I was reading it on my 15-minute break. I was reading it on my lunch. As soon as I clocked out of work, I was reading this book. Obsessed. 5 stars, 5 fucking stars to be clear. If I could give it 10 billion, I would. I think this book is perfect. I don't have a single complaint. Like, literally, I can't even think of anything that I would complain about this book because I love it so much. I did receive an ARC, but I didn't have to film this video, and my thoughts are my own. And if you guys know me, you would know, like, this book is exactly my taste and exactly what I love in books. It was just doing so much. I adored both of our heroines equally. Oh my god, I would love to see character art. I would love to see character art for these 2 heroines because just the way they're described, stunning. Especially like Lex with her tattoos. We need character art ASAP. Loved reading about our heroine Lex and seeing her come into her power. I loved reading about our heroine Luna and seeing her discover her sexuality. It was just so beautifully done. The main heroine is assaulted in the beginning of this book, and there's mentions of assaults throughout the book. It felt like it was done in such an intentional way, and not at all did it seem like gratuitous, for lack of a better word, like trauma porn. Like, everything felt so intentional to the story and the characters' dynamics. The romance itself was really beautiful, seeing our 2 heroines find someone that they felt safe with, that they felt seen with, that they felt like they could be their true authentic self with. It was sexy and romantic and kind of heartbreaking too. It reads like a classic gothic tale that is so beautifully tragic. I'm so impressed by this book, and I want to read everything that Giana Darling has ever written now. I know it's only February, but I feel like this is going to be my favorite book of the year. I cannot imagine any book beating this. I'm thinking of like my already like favorite books ever, like top 10, and like this book is already beating some of those. So wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Writing and how emotional it was, and seeing the queer representation, it reminded me a lot of my favorite author, Marina Vivancos. Marina Vivancos writes predominantly queer romances, mainly romances on Kindle Limited, and her books are also like achingly beautiful and emotional. So I was getting those same vibes, obviously like different in their own way, but so beautiful. Obviously not comparing the authors because both of their bodies of work stand on their own and they're both so insanely talented. I'm just saying that this book became one of my favorite books ever really quickly. I would recommend this book to everyone, and that's the end of this reading vlog. I hope I was able to string together some coherent thoughts on how I feel about this book. I was a little all over the place. Can't put into words how beautiful it is, but Giana Darling does have a way with words, and it shows in this book. So yeah, I'm really happy. I'm so happy I read this. Thank you guys for watching this reading vlog. Thank you for everyone who recommended Giana Darling to me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Oh my god, what is gonna top this book? What is gonna top this book? Screw